Okay, what I wanted to show you here, a lot of the guys will take all the outer jacket off. I don't take the outer jacket off. I like to just cut it open and put it back together and try to keep it as much like factory as I can. But in doing that, you can see right here, when you take your grounds or your monitor out, you've got a big lip internally. So what I like to do is remove it. I lay my blade right down here and just let it slide right up the inside insulation. The same thing on that back. Okay, then when I get that done, you see it makes it nice and clean. All right, now I'm going to put this other one up in vise, show you how to do the ends and talk about it just a little bit. Okay, what I wanted to do here, if you've noticed, I've already got two phases together. Anytime you're doing a 3 or 4 conductor cable, start in the center. Do your center one first, then come out. Now if you noticed on this center one, once I cover my connector with my printed tape, I put a layer of the 2619 mastic over it. Now, if you noticed on this outside right here, once I do that, then I come back over here and just cut a piece the length of that and put it in. You can see the edge over here goes right there and it makes this outside nice and smooth. Now, I've already got one side of this. What I want to do now is show you how I actually cut this and peel back to get the taper on it. What I want to do is go 3 lengths of a connector as normal. 2 good joints of a finger works every time. So what I do, I like to turn it around 2 joints of a finger. I pull my blade down and I kind of let it slide right around, trying not to get down to the conductor, but trying to get inside it. Then I come back up at my ground. All right, then I back up again, the length of the connector, pull my blade down, just roll it down, just cutting through the outside insulation. All right, then what I want to do is take my pliers, come up here and hold it tight with my thumb. And as you can see, you let your pliers break it loose. Now a lot of guys will cut that real deep so that they have to take they can take their hands and pull it off. But you see, I don't cut it deep enough to mess everything up. All I want to do is just make it give. All right, then I back up the width of that connector, bite that corner, and see how it break loose? If you get right down next to it, take them pliers and roll it back. All right, and see, it's just that simple to get that. Now this does a lot of different things. Remember on the other one, when we was talking about putting the connector on, look at what we've got here now. Most people will cut this all the way down right here and put their connector right up against it. So you can see what you've got right there, a real weak point. And what happens is you start getting this effect here. All right, you don't want that effect. So by putting your connector on here, you see you've actually got 3 points of flex. One here at the end of the cable, one here at the end of the inner insulation, and then back up here coming out of the conductor. Now, if you'll notice, when you put these little connectors on, like we did in the video a while ago, see that won't slide up on it. If you try to put it on now, open it up, then you've got the length of your connector right here, you're going to come up short. Well, that's not too important on your first one, but on your second and third one, they're going to get long. So what you do, and we showed this earlier, but I'll show you again right now, you just take a blade, go right down and knock this corner off of it. Come over here, I'm trying to hold it to where you can see it. Come over here, knock that corner off. All right, now let's see what happens. See how it falls right down on it? Just that simple. All right, then just take a little bit of the twist out of it. I'm right-handed, but I use my left hand. The way the twist goes in all these cables, you just take that left thumb, lay right up against the next strand, bring it around. And you only want to funnel shape it. See that? Now, if you try to put that connector on now, this is a tight connector and it's going to stall on you. See that? Now, how do I take care of that? Take each one of these strands and take the twist out of it. And see, we showed you this in the steel films a while ago. Then you put it right up, hold it with your one finger and thumb out here, take this one and roll it just a little bit, then your connector will slide right up. All right, now what you want to do is get that exactly where you want it. Now I do something that very few people do, and it's really neat. Take a little pair of channel locks, tighten them up. Once you get that where you want it, A little bit hard to hold it. Adjust it. Need just a little bit more. Work this up, get it up where, and you see that'll slide, see that'll go in and out. That's the nature of taking that twist. Get it up where you want it, nice and tight. Take your little channel locks and bite it. All right, once you do, then you can get your crimp tool in it. If you're using one of the larger tools, say like this one, you can just open it up, put it in it. If you're using one of the knocker tools, you can spread it out to where you can get down and see it stays. And you don't have to get that really tight, but you'll be surprised at how easy it'll make your job. Now, what I want to do is take this one out and put one in it that's ready to tape up, and we'll call it a shift. All right, what I want to show you here, we did a video of this earlier, or a picture rather, but I want to show you how to actually make it. What I've done here, this is one that was completed. Now I'm going to take this one, take it apart. If you've noticed, I've tapered it. I hope you can see it on the camera. Knock those corners off on both sides. Knock the corners off. All right, then you want to taper your connector a little bit. Not taper it overly. Put it up in here. All right, now by tapering the ends of the two outsides, see I taper them down. Slide this one right up under it. And see, what you want to do is get your two wires. Let me pull them back out to show you. You see, you skin it down on the inside so that you got the conductor. So in order to keep this thing from breaking, you just slide that up. You've got it tapered right here. Pull it up to your taper on the inside, and then just put that in the center. Then once you do that, you can either take your channel locks, bite it down nice and tight, or if you use the old knocker tool, lay it on top of your knocker and take the hammer to it. But I just wanted to show you how that's done. Just taper the two outsides, oval shape it, and you see you come up with a nice smooth connection. Okay, this one's ready to put together, or to tape up rather, so I just wanted to point out a few things here, bring your attention to a couple items. If you remember when we put this thing together, we got room right here, that much insulation. All right, down here, we've got that much insulation. So you can see here, we've got 2 inches of insulation. So it'd be basically impossible for it to go to ground without anything in the middle of it. Turn it over here to the same one. See, we got insulation out here, insulation out there. So all the inner insulation, by leaving this on it, overlaps. So you don't need a lot in here. If you see right here, I just put a few circles around it. Then you can see where I cut these end pieces right here and laid over it. All I do is just take a piece of 2619, cut it ever how long I need it, just lay it right down there. And you can see the edge over here. But look what it does up here. See on the top how it smooths that up? So when you tape it together, it's nice and even. The other thing you want to do is make sure you stagger your monitors and your grounds. You see we got the connector out here between the original insulation here, and then we got it out here between the original insulation. So stagger everything in the splice. Remember, the first thing you want to do before you start working on it is take your cable prep, clean it up good, sand it, then come back with your rasp. This is the last thing you want to do when you get ready to put that together. All the way through it. Then you take your 2619 and go from one end to the other. Now, if you remember on the high voltage, we put the high voltage tape on it, but this one, this is the only thing you put in it. This is what's on your connectors. Then you start right out here just at the end, place where you slit your cable, and you take this, run it all the way through, half lapping it. Then you come back out here just like we did with the outer jacket on the others, the length of your jacket all the way across it, and tape the ends down. And by doing that, now see, this is a special waterproof material, and you see you can get the same bond all the way through it. So if you get that cut, water still don't go in it. So what you want to do is pull that nice and tight, get that waterproof bond all the way through. The other thing it does, it keeps it from moving around. That's just like if I took my hands right here and kept doing this for a while, I'd probably get a little blood dropping out from the fingernails. But if I just flexed them this way, see, I can do that till my elbows get tired and there's nothing coming out of that hand. That's the same thing you want to do inside these cable splices. Put them back together as close to the factory as possible. And when you do that, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but it's going to be longer before you go back into it again, if you go back into it again. So take the time to do it right the first time, and then do it less from there on out.